my addiction. I want the action, satisfaction. You have to feed me words that I inquire. So my Discord someday takes me higher.
I hope to thrill you, let expectations rise. I want to bring you to where you can compromise. I'm coming at you like a cannonball. So listen to you and drop that cynical.
Welcome to a new world, open up the gates of paradise. So let's get cynical, on into a new place. Open up your eyes and so we're all. We're drop dead cynical. Drop dead cynical.
It's your illusions, fatal contradiction. I need the action, premonition. I like to thrill you, I am what inspired. Let you explode in a cosmic fire. Your darkness like a seal's mind. The times are set against the mountain behind the shine. To make it hard to justify it all. See what you are, you are drop dead cynical.
Welcome to a new world, open up the gates of paradise. So let's get cynical, on into a new place. Open up your eyes and so we're all. We're drop dead cynical. Drop dead cynical. Drop dead cynical.
To thrill you, let expectations rise. I want to bring you to where you can compromise. I'm coming at you like a cannonball. So listen to you and drop dead cynical.
Welcome to a new world, open up the gates of paradise. So let's get cynical, on into a new place. Open up your eyes and so we're all. We're drop dead cynical.
How's it going, everybody? We are back. Hope everybody has a good ass day. Today, we are talking about Logal Paul and how he is apparently suing Coffeezilla for CryptoZoo, even though, he apparently thanked him for bringing all that stuff to his attention. So, I'm curious as to how this is going to turn out. Yeah, can't wait for the tournament arc to begin.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's. This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone.
Wait, so he's not suing you for defaming him? How does that work? Remember this from Dragon Age, this is my favorite part, the modern discourse chapter. You don't gotta call me out like that,
But himself for his
I like
problems,
talking about this
especially
stuff.
me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions.
Wait, what? He has caused to Paul's reputation through the intentional and reckless dissemination of defamatory falsehoods. It's not a falsehood if it's true, though.
But what actions are those? Holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But
Right.
accountability for who?
Just so you want to
Currently,
the
Logan
title
is
of this, and I'm
fighting the
like,
victims of Cryptozoo in court, and
Yeah,
now
I will
he's
be playing
fighting the
Dragon Age
journalist
after, don't
who
worry.
exposed him in the first place. Personally, I believe Logan has learned nothing from this except how to silence people with the law. But I won't be silenced because Logan's lawsuit makes no sense. We're going to go through it because from the beginning, there's problems. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative.
Aren't most of Coffeezilla's videos unmonetized though?
But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
Logan
This
Paul.
journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named Coffeezilla, who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy, did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called Cryptozoo.
That's right. It's
Wow.
Logan Paul. He's the
Bro is glazing him on camera, and then off camera is sending out the fucking hounds. I love this
biggest
shit.
enemy
Yeah.
of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a
Yes.
reckless disregard for the truth. But he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted.
Yes, this is the sort of thing that will be brought along, even if it's not about proving that Logan Paul doesn't believe what he's saying in the legal action that he's taking against Coffeezilla. This is the sort of thing that can be brought along as character assassination of Logan Paul, which can lead to throwing out the whole case. Because if you can show that Logan Paul is a very two-faced person, where he says one thing and then he does something else in court, his entire testimony becomes very suspect to the judge, and so the judge might just decide, hey, you know what? No, I don't believe that you believe what you're saying, and so yeah, this is getting thrown out. So yeah, Logan Paul, very very stupid to go after Coffeezilla the way that you're going with the lawyers.
Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this Cryptozoo stuff. If Cryptozoo is in there, if Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Remove that crypto.
Look at his
in there,
face.
Coffeezilla's, remove this
Smiling,
crypto stuff.
smiling,
Remove this Cryptozoo
no
stuff.
longer smiling.
If Cryptozoo is in there, if Coffeezilla's in there,
Bro's a little bit upset that he got called out like
I'm
that.
not going to promote it.
Yeah. Remove that Cryptozoo stuff, that Coffeezilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue.
Yep.
Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages.
Wait, calm down. I'm trying to read it. So concludes with the preview. The preview features images of text message between Paul and an unidentified person within the scene, narrating snippets of those messages, no context. It's just when people do these kind of things, get called out, when then try to silence it with legal action, they are so painfully unself-aware because they'll be like, we're holding them accountable when they're the ones not being accountable and all this other stuff. Well, now, yeah, it's the same thing as what Mr. Beast was doing, because Paul is accusing Coffeezilla of defaming his character and making it so people see him as the bad guy. But the fastest way to be seen as the bad guy is to try to silence someone like Coffeezilla through legal action. It's the same thing as Mr. Beast is doing with the cease and desist to everybody who's exposing him and saying, oh, the NDAs. But here's the thing, NDAs don't apply to criminal action. So you can't do a cease and desist if somebody is exposing your criminal action. It's called a whistleblower rule or whatever the fuck.
I took Logan out of context, that Logan was
Isn't Logan Paul the same guy who did a vlog in that forest in Japan, was it? Yes, what's a funny way I can put this? I don't want to just say sewer slide because that's like the lazy one, but the sewer slide forest. It's that was a long time ago, and I feel like we should allow people to move on from their mistakes. I feel like he's done a good enough job of like cleaning up his image. I don't think it's a good thing to just say, oh, you did this one mistake, so we don't ever move on from that. I genuinely could see that as, oh, he's just doing it because he thinks people will like it. right? He thought people wouldn't take it in poor taste. So I'm just trying to make sure I know who's who. Yeah, yeah. This is Logan Paul. This is that guy. Um, but I've seen it brought up a bunch of times, and it's a sort of thing where like, oh, he did this, so obviously everything else he does ever is bad. And I think that's a very very reductive way of seeing people and their actions. I think it's important to allow people to move on from their mistakes because I've messed up and I appreciated being given a second chance. And I'm sure everybody else has as well. And they've been given second, thirds, and fourth chances on everything. That bit is hardly relevant to consideration to the current crypto-related stuff. And this exactly. It's not related to this. So this is a new thing that is very bad. He tricked a bunch of people. Well, I don't even know if he tricked the people. I just know that people invested in him and taking everything he said at face value, because he said he wasn't related to the whole cheating people out of their money and things. It was his business partners that did it, the people who were working on it. It's like that just means you, as somebody with near infinite resources, didn't vet people properly to work on your project. So you're still responsible, and you should still make people whole. It was basically a rug pull. Exactly. It ended up being a rug pull.
Was a victim, that I withheld text messages.
Also admitted, for example, that as of August 2021, several months after the launch of Zoo Token, the exact same text messaging showed that Paul was still considering whether to even include a token with the game at
Logan
all.
isn't
That's
suing me.
completely the idea that he was considering that he was still like thinking about whether or not to include a token in the game is completely irrelevant. You ended up including the token, so we are judging you based on what you did, not based on how you reached the thought process required to do the thing that you did, right?
Me for
It doesn't make
any of
sense.
the original investigation, though, because he knows he can't.
Yeah.
Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet.
Logan Paul really is that thank you when you expose his scam, then block you. Oh, because you said it was a scam.
Find what my defamation really is.
Even if he wasn't the one to do it, he's very much responsible.
being-
Exactly. Yeah. The quote unquote refund, so implying that he's not doing the refund. Again, implying he's not doing the refund. Logan Paul's scam.
Sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet.
And then blocking when you remind him to pay up. Yes. Yes, I can absolutely see why he would be able to attempt to sue you over this, because he is kind of doing a refund. I'll let
Where I
Coffeezilla
advocated
explain, and
for
if he doesn't,
refunds.
I'll explain it.
For the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund. Remember, there are 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens?
Yes.
And Logan chose only to refund the NFTs, which is a minority of the losses, and I had a major problem with that. I told Logan this. I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things.
And by the way, like, this was, I think somebody did the math on how much this was. This would absolutely be a kick in the pants for Logan to pay off all the people. But at the same time, I think he absolutely could stand to pay off the people, and just in the future, like, because this isn't the first time where he starts a crypto project and it ends up going bust. I think that the smart thing for Logan would be to just pay people off and then back the fuck off of crypto. It doesn't hold its value. Just give people the money, back off, lean into Prime, lean into the WWE. Hey, who knows? Join KSI in music as well. Just do that stuff. Do stuff that is entertainment based, because that's what Logan Paul can do really well. He's not a good money guy.
Fully right, and instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court. And it's those videos and tweet where I ask for refunds, which I'm being sued for. The first video in question.
Hey Logan, following up for the 3rd time. It's been over 5 months since you promised to refund victims of CryptoZoo over 3 million. You haven't contacted any of them. By the way, 3 million. I'm not saying that this is like small change for him, but he has made more than this amount in a month with all of his businesses. Actually, no, he's made more than this amount in a month from one of his businesses, Prime. So it's like you could absolutely stand to pay people for this. So it's like, I can't believe people are still doing crypto for the most part. All I ever see is how bad an investment it is almost all the time. Exactly. But the thing is, The thing with crypto and the thing with gambling in general, because let's be honest, crypto is gambling. It requires a level of narcissism that a lot of investing people, like people who like to invest, tend to have. The idea that they know better than everybody else, and so the thing that won't work for anybody else will work for them. It's that whole thing of you only need to win 30 something times at blackjack to be a millionaire, right? It just seems like let's say stocks, and that's saying something, I think. Exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. It is let's say stocks. However, um, people who have invested very small amounts into crypto made millions, right? But they did that at the start. That's no longer happening. But there are always people who want to create new coins with the intention of doing that again. But it won't happen because we already have crypto coin and Ethereum as the established currencies, basically. And the whole point of crypto coin was always to have a coin that is completely globalized, completely separate from all of the economies and all of that. Essentially, the purpose of crypto coin was to essentially create fucking Star Wars credits, right? Where these are accepted everywhere. They always hold their value. You can exchange them for other currencies with ease, and that was the point. And then it got turned into an investment thing because the money people got a hold of it. And now it's this basically. It's an investor's trap now.
Is about Logan Paul not paying out refunds for 6 months. The second video was about Logan's partial refund, having a clause to make sure you couldn't sue him for the rest of your refund.
And by the way, this is non-binding.
And the tweet, I simply said, Logan's the type of guy to thank you for exposing a scam and block you when you remind him to pay up.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, now he's the type of guy to then sue you. Now, I'm sure Logan doesn't like it when I say things like Logan's victims or Logan's scam, but I have a question. If they're not Logan's victims,
Fascinating. Yes. The thing is, you cannot sign away your rights. It's not a thing. They are inalienable. There's a reason why they are referred to as God-given. Because it's not the government that gives you these rights, it's not your employer, it's not even like your fellow man. These are rights that you have, and then the government respects those rights, right? So they can't come in and take them from you, they can only disrespect it, right? They can only disregard it. You have a right to attempt to defend yourself. You have a right to own a place where you live. You have a right to own the things that you own. And coming in and taking it from you is criminal, right? If I come in and I assault someone, I am disrespecting their right to bodily autonomy. And if the government comes in and takes away that person's right to defend themselves, they are disrespecting that person's right to, self-protection. That's how rights work. You can't sign them away. I think there's some hefty irony in the fact I have one of those frame ads on Twitch right now for crypto. That is very funny.
whose victims are they? Even Logan admits they are victims. He
Had the
told
same
me
goal
via
of helping
text,
victims, not
just
as
thought we
the
had the same
device of
goal of
social media
helping
war.
victims instead of a device of social media war. So he agrees people have been wronged by his game. The thing
Then
that
help
he
them.
said will earn you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
So how are these not Logan's victims? He,
Yeah.
of course, would say it's his business partner's fault. But remember,
Yes.
Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years. And yet, CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it, and of course, also threatening to sue me.
We're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's going to be made. You're going to have the opportunity to get your money back if you want. If you don't want to play the game.
Is
And
the
I'm
game
gonna
out
take
though?
care of the people who made me look
I don't
like
think it is.
This was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those. Since Logan can't blame his partners, Jake and Eddie, for this because they've been out of the picture, do you think he'll take accountability for not launching CryptoZoo?
No, lol.
No. This time, he blames the government. He says
What?
releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And
Yeah,
now
this sounds like the sort of thing you'd encounter before getting people involved. Like if I was making a game, I feel like the first thing I'd do is check if I can make the game.
Now, Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability. Or if you let him keep talking, Logan might rant about internet reporters having too much responsibility.
These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands that is being mismanaged and wielded in a really inappropriate way.
Really?
It's honestly
How so?
funny to watch this guy whine about his problems, which you can barely hear over what sounds like a private jet. Which brings me to another
has a script.
problem
Oh, yeah, for
Logan
sure.
has. Part of any defamation
You can very much tell that Logan Paul is a very good entertainer. You see it in the WWE. I don't think anybody can question that. But when he's doing this sort of conversation, he is very much camera trained. He 100% uses a script. He 100% knows what he's going to say before the camera even starts rolling. He 100% knows how to get an audience to like him while admitting to the worst type of shit possible.
cases damages.
Like, don't forget, Logan Paul and Jake Paul were Disney kids. They had the best people training them.
And proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than
Logan Paul can celebrate selling over 1 billion Prime hydration bottles. People like to say that this is the Prime success is because of Logan Paul, but I think it's a lot more because of KSI.
ever with Prime? And
Even though Prime
did
is
he have a
mostly in the
reputation
US.
to harm? His lawsuit
For example, commenters called Paul evil, accused him of grift, and exploiting people, accused him of operating a scam, and labeled him a scumdog millionaire. All of these are accurate.
shows comments calling Logan a scammer.
Prime's mid as
possibly
fuck
to
at best anyways. I mean, it's a hydration drink, right? Like, the hydration drink is pretty good. I don't know about the energy drink. I haven't tried that one, but I have tried the hydration drink, and it's pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say it's better than, like, any other hydration drink, but it's pretty good.
suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of
Think of the other energy drink. What's it, Bang or something? I don't know. I don't drink energy drinks. Like the only caffeine thing I drink is like Coke, and that's because I like the taste of it. I've drinking some Monster, but like I don't drink a lot of different energy drinks. I haven't even drunk Prime energy drink. I'm in Portugal. I don't think it even sells here, but yeah.
participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes.
Yes.
That article does not
That's the
reference
problem. I genuinely believe that that the smartest thing Logan could do is just give people the money back and then back off of crypto. Say, hey guys, I don't know how to do crypto. I'm not even going to touch it. It's the same thing that KSI did. KSI talked about, hey, I'm investing here. So, I'm putting this much money here in this coin, so you guys can join in as well. And then that turned out to be a pump and dump thing. People got mad at KSI and he said, yeah, I lost like $2 million there, so I'm never touching crypto again. Like, do not believe me when I talk about investment. I'm trash at investment. Don't invest in the shit that I say ever again. Like, hold me to this. I'm never touching this again. KSI strikes me as like, oh, Sticky, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that shit. Thank you so much. But yeah, KSI strikes me as much more a genuine person than Logan Paul in this type of thing.
my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation, at least if you believe their allegations. So this lawsuit from beginning to end is groundless, meritless.
We're talking about the
frivolous,
Logan
and
Paul
Logan knows
Coffeezilla
that because
lawsuit,
behind
damn.
the scenes,
Yeah.
in clips he didn't want to get out, he's saying I'm thorough and good-hearted. But in public, he wants to sue me, silence me, and cost me money, because that's the one department where we both know he's got me beat. We might have facts. We might even have evidence. But he's got all
You also have better swag than him, let's be honest. Like, look at this shit. Look at the suspenders. Sexy.
the money and the lawyers.
I would trust Logan Paul with my money. He definitely is incredibly untrustworthy
This
in
is
this
where I have to
slightest.
get to my
Yeah.
one embarrassing mistake in all of this.
Oh, boy.
See, My defense against rich people like Logan Paul is media insurance, for frivolous lawsuits. So when I was sued, I immediately called my insurance company to file a claim, so I wouldn't have to pay for it. But they told me they're not going to pay. They're trying to get out of covering us, using lawyers in fine print. It's a long story that I will be explaining on my second channel because insurance
I'll have to
underwriting
look into that
is very
later
boring.
then, I guess.
But suffice to say,
Coffee really pulls those suspenders off. Damn. Yes, he gives that small-time lawyer that routinely kicks the crap out of big corporations vibe, right?
got Dylan Danist. I may have even gotten scammed. I'm not quite sure. For now, the bottom line is we have to fight Logan with our personal funds, which means I need to ask for your support. If you want to help and are able to help, there are 2 ways to contribute to our fight against Logan Paul. 1, you can join our Patreon, which supports the channel. Or you can buy exclusive merch at Coffeezilla.store, where we just released the Coffeezilla defense drop. That's right.
Also, just watch the video.
Lawsuits,
Watching the video
rejected
helps
by
in
your
terms of ad
insurance,
revenue.
Make merch.
Yes.
So here's the deal. These shirts will be available for pre-order for only the next 14 days. And 100% of profits we make from selling them will go to this lawsuit. If for some weird reason there's money left over, it will be dedicated to future legal costs for this channel.
Smart.
I just want to let you know they're available, and it's a cool way to support the lawsuit while also getting something in return. I didn't want to just set up a GoFundMe. So
That's smart.
if you want to do that, just know pre-orders take a few weeks to get done because we make them after you order. And remember, you have 14 days. And you can get that at Coffeezilla.store. I'll link that below. It's Coffeezilla.store. All right, now we're going to shift gears and talk about the final part of this lawsuit.
Lawsuit timing.
Why did Logan
boy.
Paul sue me now? It's been over a year since he apologized and thanked me.
Thank you, Coffeezilla. I am very grateful for your work and your investigation. And I mean that. Thank you, bro.
Well, I'm sure he does mean it because it gave him an opportunity to look good on camera, apologizing and doing all that stuff. I'm sure he does mean thank you, but then a year later you come out and you go, hey, you still haven't done the thing you said you were going to do. And so now you're annoying him, right?
Seems strange.
It's
But I've got
a
some
different
fun facts
situation.
for you that may or may not be related. Did you know 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video?
Oh boy.
Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment?
Liquid Mike got accused of, as did 3 of the top executives. Given that I spoke with you about this allegation over a year ago, I wanted to ask for comment. I can give you 24 hours to respond.
Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep, that's right. Logan's
That's
lawyers then
not smart.
threatened me in that lawsuit email that if I
Should you choose to proceed with any reporting on Liquid Marketplace, please know that Mr. Paul intends to hold you fully accountable. Yeah, reporting on something that you did isn't a crime. It's also not liable.
report on this new story, Logan might hold me.
It's one of those things where it's like you can if I see you commit a crime and I say, hey, this guy did a thing, you can't then get mad at me for saying it. Next time, don't do it.
Accountable. And Logan's definition of
Brings this defamation suit to hold for his action to hold him
accountability
liable.
seems to mean he'll
Yeah.
sue.
Oh, and by the way, this is actually how it would work if he were in Portugal, by the way. The thing is, in the United States, defamation means that it's false. In Portugal, I don't know how it is in the rest of Europe, but in Portugal, for example, if you accuse somebody of doing something and they did it, but you reporting on it caused harm to their reputation, they can still sue you, which is fucking ridiculous.
Me, which is why I believe this
think
lawsuit
it's the
was
same thing in
not
Japan.
designed to win, but to shut me up, to
Yes.
threaten me, using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send
Yeah,
a
it's just
message.
a
Do not tell
it's just him flexing his big money muscles.
that story. Of course, I don't believe that's the only reason I was sued. Clearly, Logan wanted to sue me for a while, but I believe this new investigation played a role in pulling the trigger. Maybe Logan's team will deny this. Maybe they'll say it's coincidence they sued 3 hours before a deadline. Maybe it's coincidence I announced a story about Logan 6 days before, and maybe it's coincidence that Logan's lawyers threatened me about this new story while suing me for the last story that I hadn't discussed in 6 months. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
Either way, when someone threatens new reporting in a lawsuit about old reporting, the effect is the same. So, What
OSC accuses executives of Logan Paul's liquid marketplace misappropriating investor
was
funds.
this
Oh
news
boy.
story?
Oh
Well,
boy.
it's partly about a Canadian law enforcement investigation, and it's partly about something I told Logan to help him. Yes, believe it or not, I tried to help Logan Paul.
That
To
was dumb.
explain, we need to go back to when CryptoZoo first got exposed. Logan said he was going to sue me, but got backlash. So he called me to apologize. He said he was wrong and wanted to make things right. I made it clear refunds are the absolute right move going forward.
Yeah, genuinely, I think Paul would make so much more money off of just goodwill if he had just given people their money back.
And to my surprise, he agreed.
No, he didn't.
100%, man.
He said he
We're on
agreed.
the same
It's
page.
different. It's different.
But we weren't. Logan now doesn't use the word refund. He calls this a buyback. But at the time, I need you to understand.
Yeah,
I
that was
thought
probably
Logan
like
was
his
going to announce
lawyers.
a full refund. So I began trying to help him. And dare I say, I was even nice to the guy. You can see
Following up of refunds for victims and who might be able to do it from a technical perspective. The owner of whatever and I talked today, and he said his team might be up for it and interested. They do blockchain tracing and investigations. On Telegram, his handle is whatever. This is just one option, and I was light on details, as I'm sure you'd want to explain yourself, but feel free to follow up if you want.
that I tried to offer people who might be able to trace blockchain damages to refund people. And in the same spirit, I made
This-
Logan aware of potential problems at a different company he co-owned.
This is kind of the problem with dealing with dishonest people in an earnest capacity, right? Because they'll tell you that, yes, we're on the same side, and they'll say, yes, I want to help people. But then when you take that at face value and you start working with them as if they are trying to help people, they turn right around and stab you right in the back. It's really dangerous to handle these types of
called
people
Liquid Marketplace.
earnestly.
On a platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace. It allows co-ownership of top-tier assets. So instead of one person, me owning this card, we as a collective can co-own it together.
This
Oh,
was
boy.
a fractionalized
So essentially, you're selling them your stuff without actually selling them your stuff, which I'm pretty sure is not legal.
collectible platform where Logan sold things like roughly half of a $5 million Pokemon card. The idea was you could buy tokens that represented partial ownership in rare collectibles. That video, by the way, got 8 million views, and a lot of people bought into this platform. The
Idiots.
problem was I had heard troubling stories about this company, and I was trying to verify if the claims were true. So I
Probably.
had gone to the CEO, Ryan Bahadori, to ask him questions.
Bro's name is Baha. His fucking name is Baha. Like the blast?
But he kept dodging meetings. And I don't
course he
mean
does.
he refused meeting with me. I mean, we would set up meetings and then he did not show up. So-
As a quick reminder, we've rescheduled this already twice based on your request. Hope to hear from you.
I was troubled. And I brought this up to Logan. I figured if he's going to make one company right, make them all right. Otherwise, it might come back to bite him.
Yes,
I mean, can you
and it
imagine
will.
the disaster if another one of Logan Paul's co-founded companies was discovered to have scammed his fans? Hypothetically, that would be a very bad look.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, while he refunds CryptoZoo, Logan can push the CEO to talk with me, and I can figure out the truth. Maybe Logan can fix it if there's something wrong. And you can see Logan responds to me.
Slip text. Gonna push Ryan to talk to you again.
He says,
Appreciate it, man.
Gonna push Ryan to talk to you. Again, appreciate it, man. Now, I don't hear back from Ryan or Logan about this, so after a while, I follow up again. I say, let me know.
Let me know if Ryan plans on talking. A lot of nasty stories still out there about Liquid MP, embezzlement, etc. He's dodged meeting me already once on a Zoom call I scheduled with him to answer those questions. He didn't show. Wanted you to
if
be
Ryan
aware.
plans on talking. A
Wow.
lot of nasty stories still out there about Liquid Marketplace, embezzlement, etc., and he's dodged meeting me already once. Now, obviously, the most shocking part of this is the word embezzlement. I need to make it clear. This is not an accusation. I am not accusing Logan Paul or Liquid Marketplace of wrongdoing.
Yes, you were just specifically talking about other people making those accusations and you wanting to clarify them.
I brought it up in our texts because it is my job to investigate unverified claims.
Yes.
That's the whole point of me wanting to meet with the CEO, but I was stonewalled. Logan never replied, despite me reminding him again.
Hey, Logan, been trying to reach you by phone for 5 months, and you haven't responded. Tisk, 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 coffee. Very unprofessional. It occurs to me that maybe you changed your number, so I thought I'd be sure to forward all my messages to you to make sure that you got them. Below are the messages But for clarity, in the first message, I'm discussing our conversation to get Ryan, CEO of Liquid Marketplace, in a room to talk about the serious accusations of embezzlement and potential fraud. You initially told me you'd be sure he'd meet after I brought up the fact that rumors had begun circling. I haven't heard back from you or Ryan.
Via email 5 months later that I wanted to talk to Ryan about, quote, embezzlement and, quote, potential fraud.
Yeah.
Once again, not accusing anyone of wrongdoing. I'm simply doing my job at the time to chase down rumors and unverified claims. Without concrete proof, I would have never talked about any of this. But on June 19th, 2024,
Oh boy.
things changed.
Honestly, every time that he says, now I wasn't doing this, but, and then he follows that up with a date, like the hairs on the back of my neck fucking stand up, like, oh boy.
Because the Ontario Securities Commission revealed a Liquid Marketplace investigation where they accused Liquid Marketplace of being a multi-layered fraud, taking in $2.7 million from the sale of these fractionalized collectibles. The platform allegedly did not do exactly what it promised. Some of the blockchain tokens did not even mint. But even worse was the allegation that approximately $3 million was misappropriated from $10 million they raised of investor funds. This is a very similar claim to the one I had tried to verify. Ryan Bahadori, the guy I tried to speak to,
I'm still not over his fucking name, dude. Baha? Really?
was accused of, quote, making hidden payments to shell corporations without any legitimate business purpose.
Oh. Oh no.
As were two other of the founders.
For those who don't know, usually making hidden payments to shell corporations without a legitimate business purpose, usually that means he's laundering the money. Basically, you give him the money for him to do something, and then instead of doing that, he just sends it to a different company that doesn't have a real purpose, and then that company stores the money for him to remove from the company later for personal use.
And Ryan was accused of, quote, using company credit cards to buy high-end fashion, expensive
Yeah.
jewelry, and watches.
Exactly. See, he is transferring the money from the main company to the shell corporations that don't have a legitimate business purpose, and then he's using the shell corporation's company card to buy stuff.
Personal health and luxury spa services. If only there was someone who could have investigated this sooner. Now, it is really important to say Logan Paul is not accused by the OSC. Only 3 of his co-founders and his company is. But given the history, I had questions. After all, Logan's promotional video about Liquid Marketplace is still up. And the reason many people cared about Liquid Marketplace at all was arguably Logan Paul.
Obviously.
So, here were my questions. And as I read this, it's important to correct. I say Liquid Marketplace got accused of embezzlement. Technically, the OSC alleged misappropriation of funds. Those are similar. They're not the same.
They're not?
I wanted to correct that. But here's what I asked. Quote, did you take any action?
Got accused of embezzlement did 3 of the top executives. Given that I spoke with you about these allegations over a year ago, I wanted to ask for comment. I can give you 24 hours to respond. Oh, the rest of the message. Did you take any action on hearing these allegations over a year ago? Did you get approached by the Ontario Securities Commission? Is it true that Liquid Marketplace lied about their claims of insurance, appraisals, and co-ownership, as the Ontario Securities Commission alleges?
On hearing these allegations over a year ago? Did you get approached by the Ontario Securities Commission? And is it true that Liquid Marketplace lied about their claims of insurance, appraisals, and co-ownership, as the Ontario Securities Commission alleges? You can see I gave him 24 hours to respond on June 26th at 2:03 p.m. And I was promptly sued June 27th at 11:28 a.m. with roughly 3 hours to spare. Now I want to be clear. I don't know the answers to the questions I sent. Maybe Logan secretly whistleblew to the OSC when I first went to him.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But here's the thing. If he had... Look, let's put ourselves in Logan Paul's shoes for a little bit. Let's assume that he did whistleblow. If that was the case, the smart thing to do would be text Coffee and say, hey, Coffee, or hey, Zilla, or hey, whatever the fuck he calls them. Hey, Coffeezilla. I am currently working with the Ontario Securities Commission to get all of this sorted out. I can't talk to you about this stuff right now. I will update you once it is complete. Once the matter is settled, I will update you. They've told me I can't talk to people about this. if that was the case, I don't think this video would have ever seen the public eye until the matter was settled, and it would have likely been very positive towards Logan Paul because let's be honest, a video about how Logan Paul helped uncover a scheme in a corporation that he co-owned. Yeah, no, that looks really good. That makes you look like a really good guy. So I don't think that's the case. I do not believe so. I don't think Logan is an idiot. I think that if he saw a clear path to success, he would have taken it immediately. The problem is he saw a different path where he would basically be gambling with other people's money and then cheating his audience out of that money. And that's the path he seems to be taking. And that really is it. He is basically investing other people's money and then taking all of the winnings for himself. And that's the problem here.
That's why you ask questions as a reporter. But now the story is not about those questions. It's about why I was sued immediately after asking them and threatened if I reported about Liquid Marketplace in a way they didn't like. This is not how I wanted this story to come out because there's still so much we don't know and so much I can't say now for legal reasons. Maybe Logan's totally innocent. Maybe he surrounded himself with scumbags who defrauded his fans. Maybe he'll do a refund for this project. I don't know because I never got the chance to find out. I tried to investigate, but I was stonewalled and sued when I asked questions. Make no mistake though, this investigation is still ongoing. And you can reach me at the email below if you were affected.
lmpinvestigation@gmail.com.
I will release my full investigation when it's appropriate because even if Logan doesn't want to answer questions, it doesn't mean I have to stop asking them.
Obviously
so
not.
In summary, Logan's lawsuit is not about my original reporting into CryptoZoo. Even if you take this lawsuit on its own without context, it's an argument over Logan not refunding victims in full. It's Logan insisting he's not to blame. It's all his business partner's fault. But I don't think that aligns with the publicly known facts.
Of course
not.
not.
My opinion. For years, Logan has controlled CryptoZoo, and yet the game is still not out. Logan is now blaming the government.
Here's the thing. The game's never going to come out, right? Because he got rid of the people who were actually making the game. Like, he talked about how the programmers were cheating him, so he fired him. He talked about how the money people were cheating him, so he fired them. Right now, the project is dead in the water. I'd be very, very surprised if a single line of code has been written in years for that thing, right? So at this point, the only course of action that would result in a positive result for Logan Paul would be just scrapping the whole thing, paying people, and then going, guys, I'm sorry. I fucked up. It won't happen again. And then making sure it doesn't happen again. The problem is, Logan right now has worked on so many different pump and dumps and so many rug pulls that I very much doubt that that's ever going to happen.
Government for that instead of himself. And he also blames me for losing his good reputation, but you can't lose something you never had.
No, he had a good reputation. That's the thing. After the forest deal, after Japan, he had a year where everybody saw him as a shitter, right? And then he fought KSI, and that started to show people that okay, no, this guy's actually a really good entertainer. And then he fought KSI again, and he cemented that. He's a really good entertainer. And then he and KSI went into business together with Prime, and Prime is a really good drink, specifically Prime Hydration, not talking about Prime Energy. Prime Hydration is a really good drink. It's healthy enough that you've got actual sports teams making it their official drink, which would not be happening if the drink wasn't good for the athletes. Because you need the athletes to be healthy in order to make money off of them. It's pure. I'm not saying that these corporations are good. I'm saying these corporations are self-interested, and it's in their self-interest to have a good hydration drink for their athletes. And if those corporations are using these hydration drinks, Prime Hydration, that means the drink is good. The FCC has looked at it, and it's good. Prime Energy, don't know anything about it. But Prime Hydration, good. And Logan Paul and KSI made billions, millions and millions, and now over $1 billion, right? They've made a lot of money with this. They have been successful. with the Prime Hydration bottles, which means Logan Paul was recovering his good reputation. Unfortunately, this crypto stuff came out, and both Logan and KSI, as major investors, because that's what they are at this point, they are actual entrepreneurs. They tried it. KSI realized he was bad at it, and he backed off, and he never tried it again. Meanwhile, Logan went into one of these schemes and got pump and dumped. And then from that moment on, he has been doing that same thing to other people. He's done it multiple times. I don't know the exact coins anymore because it's been a while and I don't really pay that much attention to this stuff. But it really is about Logan Paul ruining his own reputation when it comes to this crypto stuff. Because, and this is the thing, Logan Paul, he's an amazing entertainer. If you see him in the WWE, people who absolutely hate his guts can't stop themselves from admitting, nah, the guy's good. The guy's really good at this. And he absolutely was born to do WWE. And he absolutely was born to be an entertainer. But he needs to back off of the money stuff. He needs to just lean into entertainment. And with Prime selling an actual
Not
product,
to mention, Logan is
he does a
arguably
good
richer
job.
than ever.
But with I accidentally continued the video. With Prime, he's done an actual job because he's selling a product. But with this crypto stuff, where there's no real product, it's just the idea of a product, then it's just scams and rug pulls and pump and dumps and all this stuff, and it's awful.
And he's on the record finding my reporting thorough and good-hearted. So this defamation lawsuit
I genuinely would not take anything he says on camera at face value.
feels frivolous even on the surface. But if you dig deeper, there's an even more compelling story, which I personally believe, where the goal is to crush new investigations while taking revenge on old ones. In this version, Logan might not even care about winning. Legal battles are expensive, and in the world of money, he's got me beat. So he can try to silence me by weaponizing the law. He can sue me for doing my job. He can sue me for asking questions, and he can sue me for asking for refunds. But it's going to backfire because I think it reveals Logan as a bully rather than someone who's truly sorry. Because Logan may be a master at convincing people he's changed, but I'm convinced it's the follow-through where things go wrong. You know, the actually changing part. There was a time where even I believed Logan was going to fully refund victims. That's why I was so nice to him and tried to help despite him threatening to sue me. But when it came time to pay up, Logan chose a minority refund and to fight the rest of the victims in court.
Been hit with a class action lawsuit over his alleged fraudulent CryptoZoo NFT project. Yeah, he absolutely should just pay
wanted
people
their money.
off.
And when I complained about that, Logan went from sorries and thank yous to lawyers and I'm suing you real quick. The irony is, it was that same initial belief in Logan's capacity to change that also made me bring up Liquid Marketplace to help stop potential problems. And yet here we are. The company is now accused of being a multi-layered fraud by the OSC.
I think if this gets bad enough, KSI will actually be forced to distance himself from Logan, even though they are friends. I don't think, at least, and when I say distance himself, I don't mean like friendship-wise, I mean like company-wise. Like, I think that if this starts to affect Prime, and I think it will eventually, even though like most of the people who drink Prime are young people who don't really give a shit about this stuff, I think it'll actually be very negative to his brand if this stuff keeps getting worse and worse. And the only person to blame here isn't Coffeezilla, isn't any other people reporting on it. It's entirely on Logan because of his genuine terrible handling of the situation.
And the CEO, who I tried to talk to multiple times, is alleged to have misappropriated money. This is despite me trying to talk to Logan directly many times as he asked.
Maybe we could have talked about this if you had reached out to me personally, not my manager Jeff, who is not me, Steven.
Well, I did try to reach out personally, and I got sued and threatened a day later. That, I think, says a lot about Logan's supposed change and his belief in accountability. Maybe the person he really believes in accountability for is not himself, but me,
other people.
Specifically when I try to get accountability from him. If you want to support this lawsuit, the best way is coffeezilla.store.
Yeah, it's like I said, you can't handle dishonest people earnestly because they will take advantage of it. The only way to handle dishonest people is, well, you can't be as dishonest as them because then you're just as bad. But you need to handle them kind of roughly. You need to not talk to them, basically. You need to not show them your cards. That's not dishonesty, by the way. That's just not trusting them. You can't trust a dishonest person. You can't be earnest with them. And Logan Paul has shown himself to be a very dishonest person. We thought that he had changed. We thought that he was no, and by the way, we thought he had changed. We thought that he no longer just valued money. But let's be honest, we had no reason to believe up until now that he was this dishonest and Machiavellian, right? His biggest screw up until now had been Japan, which that wasn't a problem with dishonesty, that was a problem with basically letting things run wild. I accidentally breathed directly into the mic, sorry about that. Letting things run wild without controlling how things move, right? He recorded that person, edited the video, or had the video be edited by somebody else, and then launched the video without any problem, right? That's a problem in itself. But that's not about dishonesty. And I think a lot of people treat the Japan thing as being a show of his character, and I don't think so. I think the Japan thing was a stupid thing he did. It was a show of immaturity, which I think that he grew out of. But this is a show of his character. This is him showing. It was callous insensitivity. Exactly. Exactly. This, however, is pure dishonesty. This is him talking to Coffeezilla and saying, please just talk to me directly about this stuff in the future so that we can handle it, directly without this stuff ever going public. And Coffeezilla did that, and then Logan Paul snuck around behind him and swung a baseball bat at his head. Immediately from that moment forward, I don't think there is a time or a place where somebody who does this ever grows out of doing it. This is a character revelation. This is the sort of thing that if you are the type of person to do this, I don't know a time or a place where somebody stops being this dishonest, especially when they're already successful and when they have no reason to change. Because that's the problem here. He really has no reason to change his behavior. He has no reason to go, maybe I should stop being this way so that people will be nicer to me. He doesn't care. He has the money. He has the success. He has the people around him. He will always be more successful than the people who are mad at him unless all of a sudden the fucking government comes after him. The problem is he's personal friends with a presidential candidate. And even if that presidential candidate doesn't win, he knows people in government. They're his friends. They probably share investment tips. There's a reason he makes so much money. And it's not just because he's a good investor, because as we've seen before, he's not. He's a very good influencer. I think the term influencer is very well used to talk about Logan Paul because he is able to sit in front of a crowd of millions and say, hey guys, check out this product. And a very large percentage of the people that listen to him will go and buy that product. And that's the mark of an influencer. And he is a very, very good one. And that is why he's so good at doing this sort of thing. The problem is he is now showing that he's not worried about the benefits that he offers to other people. He's worried about the benefits for himself. And once you endanger those benefits by revealing that, he's actually harming other people, he will come after you like a mama bear protecting her cubs. He will come after you like a junkie fighting over a bone. He will do whatever it takes to make you be quiet so that he can continue to take advantage of his audience. And while sure, he's a very good entertainer, I think it's very important to not let somebody who does this have the platforms to weaponize in the first place. And this is one of those situations where it's like this is one of very few people that I think should actually be deplatformed, because I think that the only time where your platform or your things should be taken away from you is when you are misusing them. And I genuinely believe that Logan Paul is misusing his platform for very, very dark purposes. And I don't believe YouTube will do this, because he would simply go on to Rumble or to any other platform and then be a completely different problem at that point. But I genuinely believe that the right thing for YouTube would be to remove him, even though I know it won't happen. And I think that YouTube should remove him, not because he's shared a bad opinion, not because he's a bad person or anything, specifically because he is using his platform to prey on his audience. And I don't think YouTube should allow that. The problem is, Logan has a very young audience, which kind of means that they will not be bothered by this in the slightest, and so he won't lose an audience at all from doing this stuff. It's kind of the same problem with Jake Paul. It's the same problem that he's bumping into now that he's trying to be a fighter, right? Jake Paul is trying to be a fighter, but his audience is so young that they don't really give a crap about fights. They don't care. They're not into it. They're not going to spend money to go watch him fight someone. The people watching those fights are people who want to watch the other guy beating him up. But boxing unfortunately has a very, very dying audience. The audience for boxing is very small and getting smaller still. There's a reason why the YouTube boxing thing, the entertainment boxing, has become so big. And I genuinely enjoy entertainment boxing. I enjoy Misfits and all that stuff. Very much a lot of fun. Those events are awesome. But unfortunately, Jake Paul tries to be a quote unquote serious boxer. And so he doesn't draw in the same level of audience because his audience is just a bunch of kids. And kids don't care about boxing. In the same vein, Logan Paul has monetized his audience of children with, drinks, colorful stuff, crypto zoo, that sort of thing. Like, CryptoZoo is the type of thing that a young audience would try to invest in. Some people invested millions, those aren't the young audiences, but I'm sure there are some young people with a lot of money from, their very rich parents, which spent their allowances on CryptoZoo, and those kids aren't getting their money back, which is a problem. It's a very serious problem. And that's why I think that this is a very good argument for deplatforming. But with all of that being said, let's watch the rest of this so Coffee can finish his
You have
pitch.
14 days. Or you can support on Patreon. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
And with that, have a good one, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts below. I'll see you next time. Cheers. And with that out of the way, everybody, it's Dragon Age time. Hope you're ready. I am. I love this fucking game. Let's boot it up and have some fun. By the way, I installed a bug fix mod to fix some issues with the game. One of those issues was the fact that for whatever reason the Reaper's Cudgel was looking like a regular mace. No longer! I got the Reaper's Cudgel! Woo! I also activated Warden's Soldier's Peak. Your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you. Alright, it's marked in my map. So, let's take some time to talk to people.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
I just thought you might need to talk. Doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss. Yeah.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it. Not when so much is riding on us. Not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive.
I think he was a
I
Ravani.
don't think he had any family to speak of.
He had you.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
Yes, that is stupid. You'd be dead. But I understand completely.
Of course. I'd be dead then, wouldn't I?
Yes.
It's not like that would make him happier. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime.
Huh.
See about putting up something in his honor.
So he's from the same, so he's from my home, right?
Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
My entire family was murdered just recently.
Oh, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Here I am going on and on about Duncan, and you...
Bro is a fucking himbo and a half, man.
I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Maybe I'll go to High Ever with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
Yeah.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something. What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army.
Well,
The
yeah,
only
makes
way
sense.
for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Could others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
It's horrible. I can't believe they do that.
Well, they do it, and they feel perfectly justified.
Well, of course they do.
You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something. Can you teach others to be a Templar?
I suppose I could, but I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
I'll respect that.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
You're literally carrying my family sword and shield. I feel like I'm owed something.
Ask away.
Tell me about the Grey
Such
Wardens.
as they are.
Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Logain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
What happens now if there's just two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Logain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Will we need to start rebuilding the Order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? but I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left for Eldon? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere. About the Grey... What do you need?
Okay, I'd like to ask you something. So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
Haha. Very funny.
I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem like the religious sort.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high.
I somehow don't believe him.
Cleric didn't want
I don't
to-
believe him. I don't.
Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did? I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
You think Duncan took pity on you?
I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me.
It's...
If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
I genuinely... I don't know if this is confirmed. I'm not remembering right, but I think Duncan probably only recruited him to be a Grey Warden because of who he is. Because he's a Maktir. Because he's, you know, related to Calenhad. I should have brought him up.
No, it's... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be... It's fine. He died a hero. They all did. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
No, you're not.
What do you need? Ask away.
Get fucking bullied. So you said this Al-Eamon raised you.
Did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfels. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Mm-hmm. That would explain the smell.
Well, it wasn't until I was 8 that I discovered you didn't have to lick yourself clean. Old habits die hard, you know.
So does a horde of dogspawn, I'm told.
Point taken. Let's see how do I explain this. I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Al-Eamon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
So, do you know who is your father?
Was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Al-Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
What an awful thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
Are you sure he isn't your father?
Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well loved by the people. Anyway,
Okay. One thing about this is that the thing I downloaded should have given him a necklace. Well, it doesn't seem to have. Probably because he actually already has this on. Yeah, so it didn't override him. That's good. I was afraid it would. You can have this. I don't think there's anything else to talk about with
what do you
Alistair.
need? Ask away.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
That and cheese. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
Do all Templars make these jokes, or just you?
Oh, you know, between all the guilt and the hours spent in solemn prayer, any good Templar or priest is just bursting to tell a few good jokes when the opportunity arises. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious,
I fucking love this guy.
that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
My home was taken over by Al Eamon.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry.
There's just something so special about him going, what about you? Do you have a home to go back to? And me just reminding him casually that, yeah, I lost it.
A time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're... What do you need? Ask away.
Okay, so I do have some gifts. Oh, I should use this on myself. And I should use the other one on Morrigan. I guess I can't, because yeah, she's inactive right now. I will have to see which gifts go to who, because I like actually, you know what? I can look that up right now while we're doing just party banters. Party conversations, I mean.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later.
I mean, you brought it up like
I don't
day
know how
one,
to
so it's
explain,
important.
But I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Hmm. And this made you want to help me.
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
Chantry says the Maker's left
He's
us.
still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
It's a good point. Are you saying the Chantry's wrong?
They said my ideas were blasphemy. But is it so bad if what I believe gives me comfort? If it could give someone else comfort? I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
That's very intelligent way to, you know, think about your visions.
I could get used to this, you know.
Morgan likes jewelry.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
Let me see. Make sure she doesn't want any of the other stuff, does she? Tribal necklace, shiny gold ring. She likes necklaces, not rings. Yeah, no, she doesn't want any of that. Okay. Just making sure. Okay, the shiny gold ring is a generic gift. As is the silver bracelet. And the tribal necklace. I think I'll give these to Morrigan.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay, then the wine is for Win, and the other two things are for Ogren, I think. Yes, both are for Ogren. Okay. Let's keep doing these conversations.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending, how so? Yes, they tend to be
When
self-righteous.
I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Well, that's blasphemous. He's a god. Of course he can. I do like the idea of a god that shows his beauty to everyone through the beauty of the world. Shows his gifts and his presence and his attention. I mean, sorry, smack the mic.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have to... Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's
What
Chantry?
is meant by someone like me?
They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they?
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What'd you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Uh-huh.
Yes? Well, here I am.
Let us move on. Alright, let's talk to your boy Sten.
Why are we stopping?
I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
Never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people. You said you were in the army.
I am.
What made you decide to become a soldier?
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
I mean, technically right, but... Never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
I wasn't expecting that.
Get used to disappointment. People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of the elves are alive, pointing
I forgot he said
excel
this.
at poverty.
Excel at poverty is crazy. Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
We should get moving.
As you wish.
Hey, approval.
Yes.
What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did.
Oh, come on.
Shera, was there anything else?
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
That's enough for
I
now.
suggest we move on.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
He's so mean to me. Why'd you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
What's an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So he's your king.
Kunari have no kings.
What do you have then?
Little patience for endless questions.
Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
Well, you can stay with us.
Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
I want to discuss something you mentioned. Okay.
I suggest we move on.
I have a question.
I am hardly.
Never mind.
Well.
All right.
As you.
Whoa! 16 approval from one conversation. Sten, what the fuck?
Yes.
Telling him he can stay. Goddamn.
Very well. I see. And why do you think this?
I
It's a
forget.
wonder why you even speak sometimes.
He's so fucking mean. I accidentally pressed the button. He just immediately starts fucking roasting me. Goddamn. Hi, Morrigan.
I await your command.
So, life in the wilds must have been lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Did they speak back?
Don't be foolish.
I was trying to be funny.
The first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds, I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
Can't imagine. What happened then? Let's go with the second one.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
Flemeth was right, no doubt, but you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Bitches call me Dragon Age because everything in my life has been getting worse since 2009. Bro, that's so good. Oh my god, I'm in tears. Oh, Jesus. You don't need to live that way any longer.
Do I not? I am still an apostate mage, even if I have left the wilds. The Darkspawn are yet
Oh,
undefeated.
Jesus Christ.
No, there is much that remains. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality. I await your command. So, full of questions, are you?
How'd you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures
Oh,
to
man.
watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
But it's just a legend, right?
So I assume. My mother has walked the wilds far longer than I. Who am I to suggest what things she has done and not done in her past? Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as
The
well?
form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Very, very upsetting. You spend a lot of time as an animal.
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me.
Why'd you start playing Origins again, by the way? You probably told the last stream, but I was getting some ads and stuff. Oh, I just really like Origins and I felt like playing it
I
again.
am still human, no matter my
And,
form,
you know,
they are
with all
still
the talk about
valuable.
Veilguard and the fact that we haven't seen literally anything of that game, even though people are hyping it up like crazy on Twitter, being literally just the consumer meme, I felt like playing the good Dragon Age. Never heard of magic like that before.
No, 'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved.
I am surprised you think so. Still, 'tis a pleasant thing to hear.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
That would just make you angry, I think.
No doubt it would. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us. I await your command. So, full of questions, are you?
This means she likes us now. Haha. Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring, that sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being, that I was able
She's
to
so
move
evil
human
sometimes.
lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
My girlfriend, the first time she got this line, just sent me a screenshot and went real. Were you upset by all the bad touching? It's not human society, you're in Ferelden.
Yes, yes, some men have painted lines across the maps. I've seen them. I'm sure the human world is very diverse, but the differences are mostly meaningless. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Guess the joke's on you then. Well, I'm glad it worked out this way at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
I love it when she feels awkward about the conversation becoming friendly, and so just terminates the conversation however she can. Ever been hunted?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you're cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were.
Alistair is a very competent fighter.
The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I feel sorry for the Templars. You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Do you still think it was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no
It's a good point.
trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
There are worse things than death.
Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk, let us return.
Whoa, she didn't like that
Yes?
apparently.
So, full of questions,
Is
are
she
you?
really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
And just how long ago is this? Not true then.
No, quite true, but this part only. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
So she truly loved Osen then.
That was not the point. Conabar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see, chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which she never invaded, or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect even to her.
How is it that she survived so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
An interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
She died recently, in fact.
Then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on. Yes? So, full of questions.
Tell me, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
Could she have stolen you as a child?
It seems likely, does it not? In an animal form, a babe could easily be spirited away and raised as Flemeth's own. I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another, and Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
She doesn't seem very motherly.
Must one be a doting and simpering moron to be considered a suitable mother? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
I suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. Take yourself. You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love.
Why limit yourself?
I do not consider it a limitation. Not leaping into a burning building also happens to be an experience best avoided. I tire of this discussion. Yes?
Okay.
So, full of... Yes?
Actually, this
So,
one
possibly, if
is
I
also...
have the desire to. I do not.
Why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
Okay.
Yes? We're
Discuss
in
something
camp,
personal.
So 'tis as good a time as any.
Oh, I can already kiss her?
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Humor me.
Oh, it's humor you desire. I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this.
Only if we do it wrong.
How true.
You gotta know how to rhythm. Okay, so yeah, got her here. That's pretty good. I also installed. I mentioned that mod about the. That it fixed a bunch of stuff, and one of those is it makes it so you can actually get the stuff for having the dog at 100 approval.
Yes?
I think we have finished everybody's conversations. Also, I have one extra point, but nowhere to put it in, so we won't put it anywhere for now. Actually, I should probably start going down this tree. Eventually, I'll want perfect striking. Actually, will I want perfect striking? Well, we'll see. Not going to use it just yet. We've talked to everybody. Let's talk to Pup.
Oh, why, you little...
What? What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he is a war dog.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
He's
I
a good
once
boy.
heard a really old legend about how the hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished.
Alistair
Well, that's what
just
I heard
loves
anyway.
antagonizing
It
the
would
dog.
sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
I never feed you another human being.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Why doesn't he share his food with me?
You are welcome to this if you really want it. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
She's so mean to him. That dog's too smart for his own good.
He is certainly manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
I love this section. This piece of dialogue. Sten and the dog just bonding.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? Gonna take some time, you know? Well, good luck with that. He's a good boy. And with that, let us... Who should we bring? I think we'll bring these three. So, where do we go first? I'm thinking we go to Honleith to get Shale. Shale's real nice. I like Shale. Also, the bug fixed the attack animation that always missed. Crap. So it's no longer always missing. As you can see, it now hits when he does the downward chop with the two weapons. It also slowed it down a little bit to compensate, so it doesn't like deal way more damage than anything else. But that's fine. I still use the little piece of tech to the little bit of player knowledge to reduce my attack animations. You just take a step. And you avoid a bunch of extra time. Asking me to find your mule.
To introduce myself.
I'm a Grey Warden.
Grey Ward? I don't normally take this route. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh.
What'd you need?
Of all the other things that went wrong, it's a control rod, I'm told, for a...
How much do you want for it?
Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around some. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful.
What does it do?
The dwarf I brought it, so long as you have it in your hand.
What's the catch?
The catch is... You're a Grey Warden, however.
How do I know this will even work?
The fellow I brought it, hence the low price.
Alright, sure.
Just as well. As I mentioned before, just hold up the rod and say Dulav Gar. That will
Personal
wait.
golem.
Best of
Sounds
luck.
good. This bro just left the rest of his camp and wagon.
Very well.
Kind of funny that there's no horses in this game. Oh. That was something else in the mod pack. It increased the odds of getting these random encounters so that traveling is a little bit more exciting.
I shall do it. As you say. Away with you! I shall do it. It is begun. Very well. I am armed.
Now we can
Good. Another down.
Okay. And there you go. Oh, shoot.
As you say. I shall do it.
I think I need the actual an actual key to open that, so
It is begun.
let's go and look for that, and we'll get Olaf's prize cheese knife. It's a pretty good knife. We'll probably replace the Thorn of the Dead Gods that we have.
I shall do it.
Okay.
Don't give them the advantage.
Oh boy.
make it breath.
I keep forgetting to activate Berserk. I should have this like here.
I suppose violence is the solution.
Let's make this quick. It is begun.
Man, that second attack keeps missing.
As you say.
On my way.
I do think it's a bit of a problem that I keep forgetting to activate Berserk.
Yes, of course. It's done.
Right, Dulafgar, done work. This would be Olaf with the bloodied bronze key. Loot, loot, loot that. Let's go. It is a shame that for the Ultimate Edition, BioWare didn't fix so many of the bugs that kind of fill this game. I feel like it wouldn't have been hard to do so. So that actually makes it a 640 with 2 armor piercing. This is a 560 with significantly more armor piercing and also better crit chance. Okay. Neat. He activated it already. I thought he wouldn't have. Let me see this, actually. Must be included in the mod that I installed to fix a bunch of issues.
It shall be done. It is begun.
Crap. Bastards with the bows. Okay, and really, Alistair? Bro had him on the ground and missed. I think it's best if I just remember to activate it when it's off cooldown, even if we're outside of combat. And so long as I don't have to switch characters, it won't be an issue. Because he does deactivate it if you select another character, it's kind of annoying. Get the brewski. Okay, now, I want everybody to go back, because it's best if we fight them around here. Let's activate all of these guys. Crap. There you go. Oh, that does remind me, Morrigan, you can use this now. That will let me give her the thing. Okay, so now we can go.
You should run while you can. Make it brave.
As you say.
Hooray. Okay, so Morrigan can now heal. So ally health below, say below 50. Go ahead and pop some healing on him.
It is begun.
By the Maker, we're saved.
Hooray! You're welcome.
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us?
No. I doubt anyone thought you were still alive. I'm a Grey
A
Warden.
Grey Warden? Here! Thank the Maker for our luck! But if you weren't sent by someone, why
Where's that
are you
echo
here?
coming from? Is it from
If
the
you don't
game?
mind me asking.
Yeah, it's definitely from the game. I'm looking for whoever owned that statue outside.
Statue outside? Why would...
Oh, it's the barrier. The barrier caused an echo.
You bought the control rod, didn't you? You came here looking for shale.
Yes. I am a Grey Warden. Having a giant golem would be very useful to me. Bro's like, can I get through?
That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance.
Killed your father? What do you mean?
My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Isles of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais. And what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake shale up, well, it's yours now.
Except the rod doesn't work, nothing happens.
My mother might have passed along the wrong command phrase when she sold the rod. She said she never wanted to see shale active again. Look, I'll tell you the command phrase, but I'll need your help first. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you?
What killed this man?
There are defenses my father put down here to keep strangers out. I knew about the barrier, I had the key for that, but the rest of it, well, we never came down here. Ever.
I'll see if I can find her.
Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
Okay. So, we're really just here for the Helm of Honleaf. We don't give a fuck about the kid. I really just want my bis.
It shall be done.
Alright, and ghosts. Alistair, find a different fucking target. What are you doing? Also, one other fix is that these shades can now actually cast all of their spells. Which was not the case before. Harvest Festival Ring. This is also a very nice one. Extra strength and defense. As well as dex. Not defense. Extra strength, dex, and attack. So technically, yes, extra strength and defense. Because dex gives defense.
I could do that for you.
Did Morrigan level up? She did! She did level up. Okay. So she's a shapeshifter right now. Afterwards, I don't think I'll make her into a Blood Mage. Blood Mage, I feel like it's a very main character-y thing because of the balance between losing health and gaining health with it. So I'll make her a Spirit Healer. But I'm thinking like this. Alright, and take it back. We'll do this like so. And we'll go with this. It's very nice. Death Cloud's also very, very strong. I'm going to lean her into Entropy because it's a very, very, very strong. So self, let's go with health below 90, activate Death Magic, save. So for now, she doesn't really have anything that's all that useful, because she doesn't have that many of these.
I see. Yes?
Oh, it's not one that gets deactivated. All right. So, self being attacked in melee, use Mind Blast. Okay, and then we'll use Horror and Disorient in battle as it's relevant. I think we could take Mind Blast out of here. There you go. We'll organize that better once she has better tactic slots. I think there's another wave of ghosts that appear. Not sure if that's on our way out or on our way in still. Yep, it's on our way out. All right. Get ready for puzzle.
Never climbed a tree. Oh look, someone's come to play.
Hello.
You've come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people.
I am covered in blood. Oh, good, you're safe. Your father was worried.
Father? Oh, you can tell him I'm fine. Maybe he'll come and stay with us too. Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting.
The cat finds me
Kitty's
distracting.
clever. She says you want to take me back to my father, but I'm not going. She would be lonely.
You are so kind, Amalia. I would miss you dearly if you left.
That's not really a cat, is it?
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
Right, what are you really?
I am a cat, really.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me.
I love the detail of like
I am
the
her
second
friend,
voice that's
while
much
you
deeper and
are
darker.
just a stranger.
What have you done to
I
her?
have done nothing. I am all but powerless. The mage made sure of that, didn't he? I cannot leave this chamber. No, Amalia found me. After decades of isolation, her company is welcome. It seems we are at an impasse, so let me propose a compromise of sorts. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever.
You mean possess
That's
her?
such a crude way of putting it. I do not wish
But
to
is
harm
it
Amalia.
inaccurate?
I merely want to see your world through her eyes. Is that so wrong?
I'll free you and you can have the
Thank
girl.
You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so
I'm assuming the
exciting.
demon
Kitty's
can't
going
even
to be
attempt
free.
it. Which is why, you know, it hasn't. I'm actually going to give myself this. Because it feels cheap to be wearing the super strong armor. Oh, she needs a little bit extra strength. But yeah, it feels cheap to be wearing the super strong armor, so I'll wear this instead.
Always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so pretty.
Okay. So let's get you guys over here, and I don't want you getting in my way. All right, here goes. How the fuck do I do this? At least it's fast, right? A lot of these puzzles, like the pieces move super slow.
It is begun. It shall be done. I shall do it. As you say. It shall be done. As you say. It shall be done. Very well. It is begun.
Man, my mouse sometimes double clicks and it's annoying.
Never met Kitty.
It is begun. Very well. It shall be done. As you say.
No, that's the wrong one.
Very well.
There it is.
Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in his room. Isn't that awful?
That depends. Why did he do it?
As you say. It is begun. As you say. It shall be done.
We did it, chat. Hey, Liliana leveled up. Okay, so give her just enough strength to do that. Give her 1 more point in cunning, and then from here on out, it's just gonna be pure dex all the way through. So she can get all of these.
Yes. I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Did you?
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us.
Or just, you. I said I'd free you, I didn't say I'd let you live.
Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine.
Kitty, you're scaring me. I won't let you inside me. I won't.
Hey, yo! Oh my god, it's Ava Tyson! That was so stupid. Why the fuck did I say that? Anyway, beat the fuck out of her. Okay, so let's unhold their position. Alistair, please go knock her on her ass. Okay, cool. We got the Desire Demon. So now the fight is easy. The Rage Demons are very dangerous, especially if they stack up, because you take so much damage from just being around them. But congratulations, we've got the Chord of Chateaued Dreams. Gives pretty good stats, willpower and mental resistance. But we also got the Helm of Honleith, which is for me. The extra armor makes it on par with massive dragon bone helmets. So basically, it is a super light helmet that gives equivalent stats to the next tier in, weight, but also tier 7 armor is as good. It's pretty fucking badass. I could also just wear this, actually, now that I think about it. But I don't want to. And I give this to Alistair. What does this look like? Ah, it looks like shit. No, it doesn't. It looks sick. I love the appearance of the Darkspawn in this game way more than in the other games. Darkspawn peaked in Origins. We did it. We saved the child. Here comes more. I'm fairly certain demons can't even be staggered. Or at least specifically those ones, like they can't be stunned or something. I know they have some immunities, but I don't know which ones they are, and that guy resisted a bunch of stuns. Yeah, see? No loot, no loot.
You did it.
Hey man, how's it going? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I'm sorry I ran away, Daddy. I was so scared.
It's all right, Butterfly.
Aw, that's so
okay.
sweet.
All the bad creatures are gone. The phrase to activate Shale is Dulan Han. If you still want that bloody thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't if I were you. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
Oh, apparently the Ancient Elven Boots, which was an item that I was looking forward to getting, can't be acquired. That's shitty. This is a PC version problem, because it's supposed to appear in Lothering, but they're not in the closet. Huh. Unfortunate. I'm sure we can find something else to wear, though. Even though this does look, like, really, really good. It's just a really cool looking set of armor. Maybe Diligence? It's also a pretty good looking set. Boots, armor, and gloves. Where'd you get these? Urn of Sacred Ashes, Orzammar Shaperet, and sold by Owen. Oh well, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. I have to go get Shale. Shale's one of my favorite companions. She just has the perfect amount of sass. Doolan Hahn. Get your bum ass up, Shale.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod.
You're welcome.
And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical.
Rude. How'd you know I'm not a mage?
It thinks these crystals are simply for show, I see. Huh. I stood
They could have
here
been,
in the
I don't know.
spot and watched the
I try not to
wretched little
judge.
villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
Oh, you poor dear. That would be really, really boring.
And the villagers had no idea they were being watched. Creepy.
Then one wonders that you wouldn't be grateful to the one who allowed you to stretch your legs, Gollum.
Another mage, I see. Charming. I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead?
I take it that not all of them, no.
Some got away, then. How unfortunate.
Do you have a name?
Perhaps. I may have forgotten after all the years of being called Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must.
Something wrong?
I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something.
Okay, walk over there.
And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is... broken?
So what now? You go on a killing spree?
Don't be ridiculous. Well, I wouldn't mind killing the birds. Those evil birds and their foul droppings. I could crush them all. I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means I have free will, yes? It is simply, what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me?
I can think of many uses for a personal golem.
May I ask what sorts of things it gets up to for which I could be so potentially useful?
I'm a Grey Warden in need of aid against the Blight. Killing Darkspawn primarily.
The Darkspawn are an evil that must be destroyed, it's true. Though not as evil as the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village.
Are you going to keep calling me it?
Yes, very likely.
You killed your former master.
Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, "Gollum, stop crushing my head." Ah,
I noticed you don't call him it.
yes, I'm just funny that way.
She's so mean to me. What do you want to do?
I watched this village for so long, unable to move or act. My memories of anything before are vague at best. So I have no idea what I want to do. I'm glad to be mobile. Is that not enough?
How do I know you can be trusted?
I have no idea. How does it trust anything else without a control rod?
Good point.
They haven't killed it yet. I consider this a good sign.
All right, you're welcome to come with me.
Are you certain you want to bring that thing with us? It could be dangerous and large.
Think of it as a portable battering ram.
Good point. Better it than me, anyhow.
I will follow it about then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way.
I'm Auntie. Pleased to meet you.
This should be interesting. Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, she starts like this. Very nice. I usually either make Shale a damage dealer or a tank. I think we'll go with tank though. We'll go with this for now. No, who now views Shale, though the enemy may re-engage if they attack it after landing the township, gains a bonus health regenerate whenever attacking, while increasing the existing bonuses of that mode. Okay, Shale, you will be a defender. Yep, activate those two. Yeah, that works.
I shall do it.
Okay, and then she's got Bellow and Taunt. And that's all she does. She just stands there and looks unkillable. And yes, Shale is a she. I know, weird. Still, it is a she. Gives a bonus to nature resistance. Okay. And now for the funniest little snippet of this entire part of the game. What? Oh man. It's beautiful. It's done so fucking flawlessly. I love it. All right, we'll just join in. This guy gets fucking shanked. And then they spot us, and so now we gotta we got it killed. Got him. Some death root over there. Let's pick that up.
Very well. Thank you.
Yeah, tried to help. You deserted. You fucking bitch. It's not your fault they died. You still have the key. You don't think the Darkspawn found it? Alrighty. Alright, let's go back to the party camp. I wish to converse.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
They're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
What's with the heavy size?
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy.
Won't we be right next to your stain?
I think not. I am made of pure rock, skin to core. At best, I can become a pile of dust, but a smear I will definitely not leave behind. That's for softer, squishier things like itself and its friends. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
Wow, it did not she did not like that. I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
I have no idea what golems sound like. Being different isn't so bad.
Did I say it was bad? It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
I agree, being a golem would be handy.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much.
I have some questions.
Doesn't have better things to do.
No. Are those crystals on
I
your
like
skin?
to think of them as accessories.
What do they do?
I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation.
So they're decoration?
As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will.
Did he succeed?
Not really. Although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me.
Would you be willing to have more added?
Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more.
Always. I've told you killed your former
Did
master.
I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
But not non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
What sorts of experiments? Alter you? Why, you're fine as you are.
Flattery. And obvious flattery, too. I
Hmm.
feel warm and fuzzy inside.
I'm mostly trying to
He
convince you
possessed
not to
my
kill
control
me,
rod,
too.
And back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
So he hit the kill me button by accident?
Oh, ho, ho. It does like to laugh, does it? But
Yes.
who knows? I may have such a thing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time, I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
But you didn't wonder where he'd gone?
Wonder? I was glad that he was gone.
Fair
So
enough.
many years I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. An acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Maybe it has something to do with your crystals.
Possibly. Except that he was not experimenting with the crystals at the time, I think. But my memory is not good. It may be correct. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much.
Sounds good to
The
me.
things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting.
Okay.
Ah,
I have some questions.
doesn't have better things to do.
How'd you end up in Hornley? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
You didn't like this, Wilhelm? I would have thought you'd enjoy scaring
I'd
humans.
have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
Why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down, Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
How does someone shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
I take it you didn't like Wilhelm.
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Wilhelm's wife sold it, I believe.
Hag.
I fucking love Shale. Do you remember anything before Hornleaf?
Mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
Just how old are you exactly?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
That's very, very fair.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
Yes, it's fun. That's why I like RPGs so much.
It doesn't have better things to do.
How did Wilhelm get you?
That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him.
Let me guess, he found you in the deep roads.
He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away.
What was he doing in the deep
It
roads?
was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser.
Wouldn't that be dangerous?
Indeed. He had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly, but he had no defense against the blight, and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarves who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right?
You don't know why you were there?
I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Bah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference.
It's very likely that her former master, was holding the control rod and then was killed, and so she was paralyzed in the same way as when she killed Wilhelm. So if he hadn't found you...
I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that.
Do you know where in the deep roads this was?
No. That secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish.
Let's move on.
On then. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
That could be good or bad.
Good, of course. It doesn't want to have anything in common with all those other filthy substandard human types, does it? Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
There's a backhanded compliment in there somewhere.
Nonsense. It can imagine my surprise discovering such a thing was possible from a creature so... soft. But there it is. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
We wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought. It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do.
Last
I do
one.
not sleep, so yes. And I thank it for reminding me.
You're quite welcome.
Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Sounds like you were a bit of a voyeur.
Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Sounds messy. Ah, yes, your bird thing. Let's go with messy.
Foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to.
Yeah, bringing that conversation up, she doesn't like that.
Doesn't have better things to do.
You don't seem to like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject. If it is done asking overly.
Hmm.
You and your friends are formidable folk.
Alright, let's see his wares. So, one thing about Bodan, his shop resets once you exit camp and then come back. It's pretty convenient. So you can buy multiples of a lot of stuff. Let me see Morgan's stuff. Okay. I think I already got this for her. Yes. All right. Okay, so with this being done, yeah, I'm the only one who can wear this for now, but I won't.
Yes? So...
What did I want to check with her? I don't remember what I wanted to check with her. I think it was Sten. Yeah, it was Sten. Sten was the one that I wanted to talk to.
Yes.
I have a question.
I am hardly.
Never mind.
Well, as you wish. Yes.
Oh.
As you wish.
My mouse's whole double click thing. Good boy. Alrighty.
Yes.
Indeed.
Let's bring the starter party back to Ostagar so that we can get Kaelin's armor for Alistair. Armor and weapons. Ooh.
shall do it.
Whoa. Wait, misdirection hex. Crap. This is a hell of an encounter.
Don't give them the advantage.
Alistair doesn't have... Crap. Alistair, can you pick that guy up, please? Thank you. I think Morgan's going down. Yep. Shit. Come on, come on, go down, go down, go down, please go down, die, thank you. Okay, now you heal.
Let us end this.
Okay, now it's just the last one. Ooh, that was an encounter.
I'm wounded. I can't go on like this.
You're fine. Why oh why didn't we just take the flying eagles? Ha, that's funny. It's a Lord of the Rings reference.
Make a preserver.
Okay, and come here. I'm gonna bonk you. Get bonked.
Got to hand it to the Darkspawn. They sure know how to make a place feel desolate.
Okay, so you and you. All right, now let's try and not get gotten at again. I'd rather avoid that.
Very well.
Also, huh? We could change the party at any moment. That's neat. Alright, now, this is a relatively hard fight. There's a lot of ranged opponents. Why the fuck did my thing get turned off again?
There is no glory in bloodshed.
Because it's not meant to be on outside of combat, I guess. Okay, so this is a difficult fight because there's a lot of archers. And that mage there. Thankfully, we have our Morrigan. Alright, Curse of Mortality. Every attack against me is now a crit. And I can't heal, I think. Yeah. Actually, I don't know which one's the... I don't know if Curse of Mortality is the one that makes it always crit, but I know it's the one that makes me not able to heal. Let me see. No, Death Hex is that one. Misdirection Hex is the one that makes you unable to hit.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry. But it's clearly chaos. There can be no doubt.
Well,
As you say.
we got him now, so now it's yours. Put on the fucking boots. Oh, you can't. Wimp. But we did level up, so let's level up. And boop, boop. Okay, cripple. Pretty useful attack. Cripples defenses, lowers their movement, attack, and defense. Very, very nice, and it always crits. So we're gonna get this, and we're gonna get this. The next we'll get momentum. And we'll just continue to climb this gradually until eventually we get this one. It's a pretty nice one.
I shall do it.
Yay.
I could get used to this, you know.
Uh-huh. You're the one who likes this, so
A fine
you can have
gift. You have my thanks.
it. 20% chance to dodge. That'd actually be super strong. Like if I just put this on and then these on, that's a total of 35, 45, 55 chance to just dodge attacks thrown at me. Let's see. Let's see how OP that is. Oh, nah. Nah. Nah, that's cheap. I don't wanna. I'll keep this for Alistair. Okay, so we go down here, activate them, and then we come right back.
And me. It's begun.
Hit the Forge Master. Ow. Crap.
Very well. I shall do.
Got him. Sweet.
Make us breath.
So be it.
Oh. Got him. Take this guy out.
Very well.
What do these large flawed fire crystals give? Just more fire resistance. Cool.
I shall do it.
Yeah. Elric's buried key. We need this to get Kalen's sword and shield.
It is begun. There is no glory in bloodshed.
I'm missing stamina. I'm running out very quickly. How much do I have? Okay. It's 125 with this on, 105 with this on, which means I should be able to use all my abilities without issue.
Very well.
Okay, we'll get attacked by some Blight Wolves now, and some Rogues, so... Get his ass. It's a good level up. Let's fight this Vanguard now. Where are you going, Vanguard? Fight me. Very nice. Oh, I thought the shield was from the chest. I guess it's from this guy. Well, Alistair, you leveled up. Got a little bit more strength in you, boy. Overpower is nice, but I will give you Threaten instead, so you can be a tank.
Yes.
Like a proper fucking tank.
On it.
I think I'll leave him with shield defense. Shield wall is nice, but the loss of damage is significant for his ability to tank. And shield defense already gives him, you know, a bonus to defense, and then that also turns into a greater bonus to defense. He becomes like super hard to fucking hit. Shield wall makes him indestructible pretty much, but being able to be hard to hit is more than enough. Especially at this point.
I shall do it.
Judging by these documents, it's a pity we hadn't placed more trust in Orlais and less in the king's own father-in-law.
Blades like that inspire songs that last the ages.
Okay, so you get Marek's blade. What? Oh right, that now works. Right, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah. And then this... Yeah, now Darkspawn will be weaker when around him. It's very, very useful. There's Kalen. The Genlock Necromancer. I'm gonna go fuck that guy up.
These things can have unusual powers. Be wary.
Ow. Got him.
Very well. Very well.
Guys, There's still others to fight, please. Crap, I interrupted it. I interrupted it by moving and lost the stamina. Because...
Very well.
yeah, it spends the stamina immediately, but you can still interrupt it, so it's best to be careful. In fact, it spends the stamina even before he finishes drawing his weapon. That's actually good to know. I hadn't realized that until now.
Good. Another down.
Yep.
Good to go.
We must gain the advantage.
Okay, let's... I would rather they stay up there, so that I can do this without them coming down here and getting knocked about by the ballistae.
Very well. Give them the advantage.
Take him out. Okay, thanks for the healing, Morrigan. This is why you're the best. Oh, that was close. Alright, take out the strategist. Hi. You're about to die. Alistair still can't use this. He doesn't have the strength. Bro is a little wimpy little boy. For now, he'll get stronger.
As you say. It shall be done. Very well.
I am kind of stacking all of the good items on myself for now. There'll be more for him, don't worry. But I am the protagonist. I need it.
It shall be done.
Alistair here.
I shall. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's an emissary right there. That's fine. He'll have to get closer if he wants to hurt us. Too bad. Okay, I take it back. That's a fireball. Ow. Oh, I resisted Curse of Mortality. That's sick. I see how it is. Lil Bro is not a talented spellcaster. Okay. I think there's a few shrieks here. I'm not sure if that's what I just heard, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple. Alright. Yep, there it is. It's a good thing these are squishy, though. Wait, there's a chest over there. Whatever is in it, I want it. It's mine. I've earned it. Why have I earned it? I claimed it. I called dibs. And everybody knows you have to respect the dibs. Or you're a bitch. Yo. Okay, let's turn that off for now, because it's just better to deal with these guys this way. Ow. Oh, no, 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 god damn it, fuck. Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, boy. No, 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 don't do that. Got him. Cool.
Very well. As you say, it shall be done. I shall do it.
Oh, go away. But yeah, see, him grabbing me right there, that's why I kept saying in the first time that whoever is getting targeted by the ogre cannot stand still. Because that will kill you. Doesn't matter what your plan was originally, it no longer is the case. You will be killed. Alright. Oh boy. Bear. I'll take care of the bear. There you go. The thing with these grunts is they're very numerous, but they're also very wimpy. But they deal the same damage as any other enemy. So you gotta watch out for them.
It is begun.
They're real dangerous.
It shall be done.
It's just me or are these barrels floating? They are in fact floating. Got the Nug Crusher.
Down the hole and into the deep. I don't even want to imagine where that leads.
I mean, you don't have to. We're about to find out. We are about to go down the hole. What the hell?
Let's make this quick. There is no glory in bloodshed. Yeah, that's right. What did I
Oh, hey, Morgan leveled up. Sweet.
It's begun. Blast. Back. We must fight. Let's do it quick.
Okay. Now, corrupted spiders are a little dangerous. They do that thing which deals damage to you, but it also lowers your attack, makes it kinda hard for you to, you know, get your shots in. Okay. So, enemy clustered with at least 2 allies. Hit him with sleep. Sleep is huge for one reason. If an enemy is sleeping and you then hit them with horror, they will trigger a combo called Nightmare, which deals a ton of damage. It's super strong. Sleep itself is also very strong. You disable like a ton of enemies with it. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, you don't want to get hit with multiple of those, because I'm pretty sure the damage can stack. But see, it's asleep. Everybody stop.
As you wish.
You see that? That was a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And the next skill in the same line is Waking Nightmare, which is an area horror, basically. So, yeah. Put a whole bunch of guys to sleep and then throw in the Waking Nightmare. Is you good, buddy? That thing's... And then throw in Waking Nightmare, and, well, most of the trash will either die or be so close to dying that they'll die to the next tap. Saw Sword. These are nice. They got a good amount of damage and crit chance. I was about to say armor piercing. I don't even know why. Cooldown on sleep is pretty big though, so you know. It's not something you can overly rely on. Right, I'm running at that emissary. Oh boy. Crap. Oh, I was actually... Huh. No, you don't. Alright, down he goes. Oh, shoot. Down goes the big guy. Right, I forgot about that. Yes. Forgot to reactivate the party. And by the way, do you see how big that AoE is? It's huge. Oh, and also, if they're asleep, they can't even attempt to save against horror. So it's not just that they take a ton of damage, they can't even attempt to save it. It's brutal. Alright, we're technically still in combat because one of our dudes is down. And by one of our dudes, I mean me. I am down. To clown! Yep, pretty much. That was entirely my fault. Alright, let's level up Liliana. On archers, you just want dex. Doesn't matter. Getting cunning doesn't do much for you. Let's get melee archer. I'll also want this as well. And this. Because it improves rapid shot. It's very nice. basically means she just blasts arrows out.
Shall be done.
Okay, this is another difficult fight. It's a bunch of corrupting spiders in waves. And getting hit with those corruption bursts back to back to back can be very, very, very damaging. Not to mention, they do show up interspersed, which means they will only appear after combat ends with the first group. Which means if you have Berserk on, it deactivates it. Unfortunately, I didn't remember that until it was too late, and so, you know. Crap.
Shall be done. Don't give them the advantage.
Shit. Finish it off. Thank you, Alistair. That's what we'd like to see. I don't know if corrupted spiders count as darkspawn, actually, now that I think about it. All right, time for another tussle. The big fight here. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can either fight everything, or, you know, you let these guys deal with this, and you send your highest DPS to deal with this guy, because he's relatively weak. And killing this guy kills everybody else. Very difficult boss fight, guys. Very, very difficult.
It shall be done.
There. That is the last of them. I only pray we can carry them as valiantly as he.
Okay, so let's see. The prize cheese knife. The extra dex is nice. I don't think there's a set bonus. There is not. I could go full Kalen's armor for a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good set. I'll give it to Alistair once he can use it. But for now, makes sense for somebody else to use it. Might as well be me. The damage scaling per tier is huge with bows.
What now?
All right, time to get on to burying, or, you know, giving Kalen a pyre.
left him here to rot. We need to do something.
He's of royal blood, deserves a pyre.
He was a good man who hoped too much and died.
Morgan doesn't like it, but who cares? It's the right thing to do. Plus, Alistair likes it, so. This needs 36. How much strength do you have? Oof, you're not getting there anytime soon. I actually should enchant my shit. Let's go back to camp. I don't think we can just leave, can we? Oh, we can. Cool. We were pretty much done anyway. Alright, let's talk to Sandal.
Enchantment?
Yes.
Enchantment!
Okay, so Reaper's Cudgel. Put one of these, put one of these, and put one of these. And Duncan's Dagger. Put one of these and put one of these. Just a quick extra 10 damage for both. Very nice.
You and your friends are formidable. I'm sure.
Hmm. Ah, screw it, I'll wear it for now. What else is there to do right now? Oh, I should actually sell all of these other things that I got. I should keep these though. For Liliana. Actually. You know what? No reason not to just equip them. It's an extra 2 damage, right? It might as well use it. Let's level up dog. Shred's pretty good. You know, make him bleed a little. Yeah, nobody else has any level ups. You can have this and this. And sure, you can have this stuff as well. Hold on. This is actually better.
You and your friends are
Okay. Cool. So I actually think that's about it for today, guys. We did quite a few things. It was fun. We got Shale, we got Ostagar. Next, we'll go to Soldier's Peak. Hopefully, I'll be able to start stream a little earlier. But with all that being said, let's find somebody to raid who's doing something fun. Let's see. All right, let's see. Oh, we can raid Ash. So let's go raid Ash, and I will see all of you wonderful people tomorrow. So have a great one.